What if so let's build a basic scenario, right? I'm a money manager, and I've gotten two investors, each with 1,000. So we'll go off the example that you gave before, 1,000 and 1,000. At the moment, there is a 50% allocation to two investors in total. Each investor is given 1,000 in a pool of total 2,000. I start placing trades. I'm the money manager. I start placing trades today. And I have a performance. Let's say I'm 20% up, right? The next day, a third investor joins. And for simplicity, let's keep it at the same amount. Joins with 1,000.
Yeah.
The allocation now obviously changes in being 33.333, 33.333, 33.333 to equal to 100% for all the different investors, 1,000 each in a pool of 3,000. What happens to the performance of the previous day, and how does that allocation happen? You know, what happens there? If I'm that if you were that third investor, what do you experience? Or if you were one of the first initial investors, what happens there? You know?
Yeah, I understand the question. Good one. So that's why solutions like PAM from Brokeree or any other vendor is needed, because of a lot of calculations there. And talking about the case you mentioned, we have some trades and profits during the first day. The system knows that those trades were under this split, 50-50. Next trade will be under new split, 33, 33, 33. So every trade is calculated separately. Moreover, it depends on the settings, but we can even let new investor join the open trade. For example, he joined while some trade was open. So the system will calculate each period of time, some profit which was generated during the time when it was 50-50, some profit later. So it's very, very flexible calculations all the time.
You know, I'm in the tech side, and I can appreciate the complexity that, you know, that comes behind a system like that.
Yes.
Because here's an example. And let's walk off of the example that I built before, right? So we have the initial two investors, right? Day one. The third investor hasn't been introduced yet because we're not in day two. The current allocation is 50-50. Okay. The day finishes, and the percentage we said was he's up 20% in profit. That gets distributed 50-50. The next day, that third investor hasn't come yet, right? And then the money manager continues trading. And halfway through the day, he opened a trade. So he opened the trade in the morning, let's say, for example, and that trade, he left that trade open. He or she left that trade open. And let's say that trade was in a loss, right, was losing $150. And then this third investor enters in while that trade is open, while it was losing $150, enters in at that point.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, that same trade closed at 100 profit, right?
Okay.
The third trader actually realized a much better profit, so to speak, than the first two investors, because when he or she entered, that trade that was at a loss of 150 recovered that loss and made a profit of 100. So in actual fact, they entered in when that trade gained 250, while the initial investors were in from before. So they realized that open, the floating profit, let's call it, of minus 150, and then they recovered and made that 100.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that, a sophisticated system like PAM has calculated for such a scenario and knows how to.
So, yes. And actually, this situation you described is up to broker, let's say, to decide what to do in this case. And there is no way to make it 100% fair for everybody and to exclude some profit from someone, give it to another. So it's just luck. But talking about PAM, it can be tens of trades per day. Some of them profitable, some not. So a lot of interaction. So if someone joined with one trade and it made more profit than other people, okay, let it be. But overall, we're talking about aggregated funds that generate some profit, that split that after that gets split across all the investors. If any client who use PAM wants to know exactly what's happening with this journey in the middle of, it's better to contact the brokerage, because it's up to them to set it up, how to deal with it. They listen to the feedback, and we get the feedback from, they say, our clients say it's not right, it doesn't work like that. Okay, we change the logic. That's how it works.
Thank you for watching. If you liked that video and you want to watch the full episode, it's available here. Remember to like, subscribe and share. It helps the channel.